Grahamstown, and everyone like you and Colleen. I really appreciate you being here. Colleen, thank you. And so my name's Sarah, as all of you know, but I'm just going to reintroduce myself. So I'm Sarah Cohen, and I'm busy doing my Pilates instructor's course, network course through ETA College. And as part of the course, I'm going to be leading everyone through a demonstration video, and we're just going to really look at the basics of Pilates, and we're going to go through the traditional exercise Pilates structure of exercises as we go. So we're not going to today, we've got a lot of beginners here, so we're not going to use any props in the beginning of the exercise. So we're not going to use the props that you traditionally use for Pilates. Can be anything from balls to TheraBands. You can even use exercise circles, so magic circles in Pilates, and those kind of things. So today we're just going to focus on using our own bodies and our body weights, and we're going to basically just focus on our capabilities and within ourselves. So it's quite a nice basic way to start, and you'll be amazed at what your bodies can actually do when you're just focusing on it. So we'll focus on some really good control. And we'll focus on being very precise in our movements, and we'll focus on centering ourselves. So it will be a very relaxing session, and nobody should leave here feeling sore or any discomfort anyway. So I just want to check before we start. I know I've spoken to everyone individually, but does anyone have any injuries or anything you want to know about? No one pregnant, injuries, anything like that, just so I can modify the moves accordingly for you. So, in a normal gym environment like Virgin Active or one of those, at this point, like I would probably have to, as an instructor, point you out to like emergency exits and stuff, but that's not necessary today, because you're at my house and you can't find the door. Well, then maybe you shouldn't be exercising. So we're just going to start by standing, and we're going to do a full assessment of our own postures. So we've all got what we call a plumb line, and what that does is it cuts us in half. So it falls sort of in front of this ankle over here, and we always want to keep our weight nicely balanced with that plumb line. And we're just going to think of those feet nicely planted, so keep them hip distance apart from you, and have your arms nicely gently relaxed by your sides. And what we're going to do to just start off by warming up our muscles is we're just going to rock our weight. So spread your toes nicely on the mat, feel your weights connect to the mat, and we're going to rock slowly forward onto those toes, and then backward onto your heels. And as you do that, you're just going to feel that centering of your weight. So as you go forward, you'll feel that weight moving forward and backward onto those toes, onto the heels. And so rock very gently in the beginning at your own pace. So as you're doing that, just think about centering yourselves. If you feel any tension anywhere, just kind of let that go. And then I want you to think of as though somebody standing above you and you attach to a helium balloon, and just feeling that beautiful, nice length as you grow tall, as you come up onto the tippy toes, and back down onto your heels, and tall onto those tippy toes, and back down to your heels. And you can start making that movement ever so slightly larger as you come up. Rise up in one beautiful long line as though the helium balloon's carrying you, and back up. And we're just going to do that a few more times to get nice and warmed up. A few more times. And just let go of any tension that you might feel in your shoulders. And you can carry on just doing it a couple of times. We're just warming up ourselves there. And then when you feel nicely centered, you can just start coming into a beautiful standing position, feeling as though you found that really beautiful core. And you're going to stand like that for a moment. And we're going to start warming up through our shoulders. So we're going to work onto our next thing. So with those feet stacked nicely underneath your hips, and your hands, your palms, are going to just face it and move like that. You're going to slowly warm up your shoulders. So I want us to go backwards first. And just think about just moving your scapula and your shoulder blades. So don't think about at this point moving your neck. And you want to just look straight in front of you, releasing all that tension, and just focusing on moving your shoulders in your actual shoulder sockets. We're just going to go back a few more times, beautifully, feeling us warming up those shoulders. warming up the shoulder. You'll start to feel as you do this a really beautiful sort of stretch in that nice soft V of your back. So it's so important in Pilates that we warm up our muscles before we start any more exercises, that we do all the exercises properly, and we don't end up hurting ourselves. So we can just do another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you release there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring our arms out in front of us, so you just want to see nicely so in your vision, and you want your palms to be facing each other. And what we're going to do here is we're going to practice, and we're going to do some protraction and we're going to do some retraction. So what that means is that we're going to, when we protract the arms, we want to take those shoulder blades and we're actually going to push them away from us. So we really want to think about taking them and pushing them away, and then we want to bring them back. So you'll feel very, as you're going backward, you'll feel very beautiful soft V coming and step back. You don't want any of that tension to be on your neck or anything. So we're just going to focus on keeping that action just within our arms. So we're going to inhale, and I want you to exhale to extend them out. And we're going to retract them during the scapulohumeral spine. And we're going to do another one of those. And back again. So when you do this movement, try not to round your back at all at any point. It's just those shoulders moving in and out of their sockets and warming them up. Okay. And you can bring your hands down with you. And what we're going to do is we're slowly going to roll down so that we can start working on that. So I want you to nod your chin to your chest very slowly. I want you to start to roll from the very, very top, up at the top of your neck. And you're going to feel every single vertebra articulate as we roll down. So you're going to feel from the top here, which is your cervical spine, through your thoracic spine, which is down by your chest over here, and then through your lumbar spine, which is your lower. And we're really just going to get that full spinal, beautiful, beautiful stretch. So we're going to round those shoulders now in front of us, and we're slowly going to roll down, vertebra by vertebra, feeling that beautiful stretch. And as you come down, if you feel any hamstring tension or tension in the legs, you can slowly soften those knees slightly and just stretch down to the mat. You don't necessarily have to touch the mat at this point, but just get a beautiful, beautiful stretch. You'll feel it at the back of your legs and you'll feel the spine nicely stretched. And we're just going to stay here, acknowledging that gorgeous stretch. And then you can bend your knees slightly as we start to roll slowly back up. Vertebra by vertebra, as you stack them back up on each other, feeling that gorgeous stretch. And then onto the top, we're going to do another 2 more of those. So you're going to stand there and we're slowly going to roll the shoulders down, curving through, slowly through that thoracic spine, the lumbar spine, feeling that beautiful stretch in our legs, our fingertips come down. And then we start to roll back up. Stacking those vertebrae as you do. And your head and neck will come up and you'll start again. So you inhale here and nod that chin down and start to curve those vertebrae. Slowly reaching down to those toes. Beautiful. Feeling that gorgeous, gorgeous extension as you do that. And just hang out there, just think about, let go of any tension that you have, think about your legs, and just relax. And we're at the seaside, and just relax and enjoy it. And then you can slowly start to curl back up again. Okay, we're going to now go down to the mat, and what we're going to do is we're going to stay there. So I want us we're going to go into finding our neutral on the mat. So we're just going to roll down. You can go a little bit faster this time. And when you get down to the mat, you can go into a seated position at your own time. And then we're going to go onto our buns, and we're going to lie down on that mat. Just lie there, And acknowledge your backs on the mat. And just take a couple of inhales and exhales, just feeling that mat take the form of your back. So over here, you can just take some deep inhales. So inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. What we're going to do now is we're going to work into finding our neutral spines. So we all have different positions in our spine. Sometimes we have a slight curve in the back, a slight lordosis, or our spines can be kyphotic. And we're going to basically look at where our backs are. So all that fancy jargon basically means we're going to look at where our backs are on that mat and where your pelvis is on the mat. So we're going to now lie super on the mat, so on your spines. And I want us to bend your legs in slightly. So you can bend your legs slightly in. And you can have your hands softly, so your fingertips and your softly down next to you. You're just going to think about having those legs hip distance apart. So you can move your feet away from one another and think about having your feet in line, your knees in line, your hips in line. Just acknowledge that beautiful, beautiful long line. And with your arms beautifully relaxed at your sides there, just take a couple of inhales and exhales at this point. Just think about your feet being nicely, firmly into that mat. So now what I want us to do to find those spines is you're going to think of that pelvis as one single unit. And you're going to think of it as though you're holding on top of your pelvis, the pelvis sort of towards your chest, taking that bowl of water and spilling it out onto your chest. And then you're going to take that pelvis and you're going to rock it the other way, taking that water and spilling it out between your legs. And as you do this movement, you're going to find that at your lower back, you're going to start to feel a change on the mat. And this is how we start to find our neutral. So we're just going to lie here now, and we're going to inhale to rock that pelvis towards your chest. Just taking that bowl of water and spilling it out in your chest. And you're going to rock it the other way, taking the water and spilling it in the other direction. And you're going to carry on doing this. So inhale as you take your pelvis and rock it back. And then you'll do it the other way. So just really consciously associate it with having a bowl of water. And you're taking that water and spilling it. And you'll feel as you do this, you'll feel that mat change on your back. And you'll feel your back glide on the mat. And really, really just enjoy that feeling. And think about where you carry your attention. Think about your own personal posture in your day-to-day life at this point. And then try and sort of make that movement slightly smaller and smaller as you find your personal center, and just acknowledge it, and you can come to a still beautiful position at that. And this will be your neutral spine over there. So now that we found our neutral tilting backwards and forwards, we're now going to focus on finding it on our sides, on our hip bones. So what I want you to do lying there is you're going to picture as though each hip bone is a slight seesaw, and you've got two sort of kids going backwards and forwards on that seesaw, and without moving your knees too much. So we want to focus this movement on our pelvis. You don't want to move those knees, swaying them back and forth. You're just going to gently rock that pelvis to the left and to the right, gently feeling that seesaw, trying not to rock those knees as we do it. So just gently focus on that beautiful, beautiful rocking motion. And as you do that, you're going to make those rocks slightly smaller and smaller and smaller. And you're going to find that beautiful east to west neutral spine. So at this point, as you make those rocks smaller, you really will have found your neutral. And it's so important in Pilates that we acknowledge this neutral spine, and that through our exercises, particularly the more difficult exercises, we really, really focus on keeping that neutral. So now what I want you to do in that position is you're going to just tilt that tailbone ever so slightly forward into the mat. So as you do that, as you tilt that tailbone slightly forward, you're going to feel that space become slightly less. So you'll still have, we all have natural space at the back of our back, and you can keep that natural space. So don't overly exert that back into the mat. Don't allow your ribs to pop out. And now basically you are connected and you really have found a neutral spine. So now that we've found our neutral spine, we're going to go into some breathing awareness. So for this breathing awareness, I want us to soften those chins to our chests very lightly. So you keep your head down on the mat and just soften that chin to your chest. And staying in that neutral spine, you're going to inhale over here through the nose and exhale through the mouth. So Joseph Pilates really, when he was teaching Pilates, he came up with Pilates. He really wanted us to focus on our breathing, and our breathing as a form of like detoxing the body through all these movements. So consciously think of releasing any tension that you have in your neck and your shoulders this side. And to really think of that breathing and to get that breathing in Pilates down, what you're going to do is you're going to take your hands and take them to the bottom of your rib cage. So find the end of those bones there, and you're just going to place your hands over there. In Pilates, we really want to focus on that east to west breathing. Instead of what we often do during the day is we slump ourselves and we inhale and we exhale and our bodies do that. We really want to think of expanding that rib cage and then bringing it back in. So with our hands there, we can really feel that expansion. So you're going to breathe in through your nose, as we do with all of our Pilates exhales. So deep, and as you exhale, think about that east to west breathing. Feel through the back of our lungs, the side of our ribs, and our abdominals, and focus purely on that east to west. Just got a few of those. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And as you do that, I want you to start, now we want to start to feel our abdominals. So we want to draw our navel, we want to draw our belly button to our spines. So you're going to start to feel those abdominals engage. And it can just be a slight engagement of those abs, but it's very important in a lot of our movements during Pilates to actually use our abdominals to drive movements. So as you sink that navel to your spine, you can carry on with these inhales. So we're going to inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now lying down with your knees bent like this. Your feet are flat on the floor, your legs are parallel, those hips are all stacked beautifully. Everyone's looking at an amazing, amazing traditional Pilates alignment. And we want to keep that beautiful neutral spine, and our face is going to be pointed up towards the ceiling. So you're not going to tip that chin down any more than it needs to be. And now I'm going to come into that position as well. We're going to do what we call some gorgeous head nods. So that's just going to really help with warming up our necks, and we're going to really just enjoy that feeling at this point. So I want us to, we're going to inhale through that breath, and so with your head nod, you want to almost act as though you have a golf ball underneath that chin. And you don't want to squeeze it in, or even a soft fruit you can imagine. You don't want to nod your head and squeeze that fruit too much, but you don't want to crunch. So we're going to inhale to nod our head towards our chest, and you're going to exhale to look back up to the ceiling, and inhale to nod the head to the chest, and exhale back to the ceiling. And we're going to do another 4 of those. So you're going to inhale to nod the chin to the chest, and exhale back to the ceiling. Inhale to nod the chin, and exhale back to the ceiling. Inhale to nod that chin, feeling that beautiful, beautiful neck. And as you're doing that, we're going to start now really move into some of our Pilates exercises. So you should be feeling nice and warmed up, and you should be familiar with that neutral that neutral spine on the mat. So we're going to move into a shoulder bridge, and the idea for a shoulder bridge is that in this position we're going to warm up our spine, we're going to warm up our hamstrings, and we're going to warm up our glutes, so thigh muscles. So in this position, I want you to keep those arms down next to you on the mat, palms down, feel those feet beautifully anchored into that mat. So really feel the feet anchored. They must be hip distance apart. And if you want to sort of move your head so you can see, I'll demonstrate to you. We're going to go into what we're going to call the Pilates shoulder bridge. So we're going to inhale, and we're going to exhale to take our pelvis, and we're going to scoop it up towards the ceiling. And so we're scooping our pelvis posteriorly, and at this point you're going to feel those glutes firing, you're going to feel your hamstrings. And we want to be in one beautiful long line. And we're going to inhale at the top, and exhale, we're going to slowly roll down through the top of the spine, trying not to rock our hips. So we don't want to be rocking or tilting from side to side. We really want to think about keeping our spine and our hips beautiful at this point. And we're going to go down to the mat, and then you'll feel your spine completely come flat at the end of that, and you'll feel that you'll work through that imprint back to that neutral spine that we felt in the beginning. So we're going to inhale here, and we're going to do it together, and we're going to exhale, just slowly tilt that pelvis up towards that ceiling, off of the mat, until we're in one amazing long line. And at the top you're going to inhale, and you're going to exhale to slowly articulate vertebra by vertebra back down, working through that imprint and back to neutral. Inhale and exhale. Slowly tilt the pelvis posteriorly as you up. And acknowledge your abdominals here. Use those abdominals to drive us up. And so as you really are going to feel your glutes at this point. You're going to feel those hamstrings. Everyone feel that feeling. And you're going to go back down to the mat. Good job. So you're going to do 2 more of these. So let's all inhale to prepare and exhale to slightly tilt back up in a beautiful long line, shoulder bridge and inhale here, and exhale to slowly articulate through the spine back down to the mat. I want us all just to do 1 more. I'm going to just walk around and check everyone's in the right position. So we're going to inhale and exhale to slowly tilt up. And inhale at the top, and exhale to slowly come back down, working through that beautiful, beautiful neutral spine and back down. And you can just take a few inhales here and exhales. We're going to move on to our next exercise. So now we're going to work into some supine and spinal twists. So that will be our very, very next exercise. So you're going to take those arms and you're going to take them slightly wider, so slightly on the mat, palms flat down on the floor. That's really, really important. You want your shoulders to be down on the mat. So you really want them to be, you don't want any tension, you don't want any crunching in those shoulders. And what I want us to do is I want you to slowly bring your feet into tabletop. So one leg up first, we stay in that neutral spine, then we lift the other leg up. And we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful tabletop position. So you don't want your legs to be too much in towards your chest, because what that's going to do is it's going to change that neutral spine. And you don't want them to be over there, because you're going to end up popping these abdominals and popping those ribs out. So we just want to really acknowledge that tabletop position. So with our arms out on our sides, you can bring one leg up to that tabletop, and then the other leg up to tabletop, and remember that beautiful neutral spine. And we're going to do some spinal twists. So this is always a little bit of coordination at this point. So what we'll do at this point is we will inhale, and on the exhale you slowly take your legs to the right and your head to the left. And you want to keep those shoulders firmly on that mat as you do this, going only as far as you can without popping off. And you're going to inhale and use those abdominals to draw you back to the center. And then we'll go the other way. So the legs will go in the other direction and the head in the other direction. So inhale and exhale as you go in the other way. So you really want your legs at this point as far as possible to tip. And then inhale here and slowly bring them back. So you really want what we want to do in this move is just use those abs to drive it. We don't want to use our legs to push us or anything. So everyone can come into a beautiful center with their legs up on the tabletop. And we're going to go one more to the left and one more to the right. So inhale and exhale to nod and move those legs to the right. And as far as you possibly can, you'll feel a nice extension and stretch over here. And inhale and exhale as you return. You go in the other direction. Inhale and exhale to return. And all the while keeping those shoulders nicely on the mat. Beautiful job. And then you can come back to center and slowly take your legs down. One down, the other one down. And rest it out over here. So the next thing I want us to do is we're going to start working into a couple of more rapid Pilates exercises. So a lot of what we've done now is just really just stretching it out and getting those muscles beautifully working. So in Pilates, what we often do is we're trying to work on using our stabilizing muscles. So in day-to-day activities, we're often using our mobilizing muscles, particularly people who go to the gym a lot will use those mobilizing muscles in a lot of their exercises. And using a lot of the machinery in the gym. And through Pilates, using those stabilizing muscles, we can really just build on just calming our bodies and getting everything back into the correct alignment. So a lot of these moves, they seem very small, and in your minds they might seem very insignificant, but they actually have a massive impact on our bodies. So we're going to go into an abdominal preparation. So, lying in this position, you can move your feet slightly more towards your bums. And you're going to take your fingertips and you're going to plant them at the base of your neck. So at that nape of your neck, and you're going to have those elbows nice and wide. Okay? And I just want you to just use those fingers as support base for that neck, so that we're not adding any tension or anything onto our necks. And you're going to inhale, and remember that neutral spine on that mat, and act as though sort of your abdominals are being pushed towards that spine. So you want those abs to engage, and you're going to inhale, and on the exhale, you're going to come up, looking down at those abdominal muscles, and you're going to inhale up here, and we're going to exhale to draw it back down. And inhale, and exhale to go into our ab prep, looking at our abdominals, and then back down. I'm just going to do a few more of these. I'm going to inhale and exhale. And back down. And it's a very slow, so we're not going to do a crunch per se in this abdominal position. We're just going to really focus on that, finding our balance there. So often in gyms, we do like crunching movements, so this is really not about that. And then you can just rest it out, take your knees and hug them into your chest. And just rock from left to right, feeling that nice stretch on that mat. Okay, and then we're gonna work into a very dynamic warm-up for those abdominals and our lungs. And a lot of this is about control and it's about strength. So if anyone feels uncomfortable in the position that I'm going to demonstrate to you, I want you to rather do the exercise with those legs on the mat. So I'm going to try to get everybody into the intermediate pose for it. But if you feel anything that's uncomfortable, anything, you just put your legs back onto the mat like you have them now. So I'm going to demonstrate, so if everyone wants to just have a look. The 100, so what we want to do here is you would, if you felt uncomfortable, you would keep in this position and you would nod your head to an ab prep that we just did, and you would come up with your hands slightly off, almost reaching towards your toes. You don't want to crunch your shoulders. So, and here we would inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. And that scapula is going to come up over the mat, you're going to engage those abdominals. So that would be step 1 and really, really beginner stuff. If you are more advanced and you do want to, you would bring one leg up to tabletop, the next leg up to tabletop. You would inhale and exhale to draw it up, and we would go inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. And what you want to do here is you really want to use that breath the entire time. So it would be, and then you never want to hold your breath in doing the 100. We really, really don't want to do that. That would be not good. It wouldn't be good for us. So, and then the real advanced move here would be to put our legs up to tabletop, and would then put them up to the ceiling like that. We would draw them away where the ceiling and the wall meet. So we would inhale, exhale to prep, and we would inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, or we could go between the two, so that would be intermediate and to the more advanced move. So for now, we're either going to do it with our legs on the mat, or for those of us who have done Pilates before, you can bring your legs up to tabletop if you feel more comfortable. If you have any, or have had any lower back injuries or anything, or if you've had any lower back strain, keep those legs on the mat at all times during the exercise, and rather just use your neck and that to come up into that abdominal prep. So we're going to find that position, and we're going to inhale, and if you're going up into the tabletop, you would now lift your legs into tabletop, otherwise you leave them nicely on that mat. And you inhale to come up into the ab breath, and we're going to inhale, so we're going to inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. And really use that breath. Inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. And halfway. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it here and drop those legs down. You can rest your neck and your chest. How does everyone feel? So that's the real core Pilates move. That's what we call the 100 in Pilates. And it looks much easier than it feels, right? so that's our real root of Pilates, and that's a wonderful move because it actually uses all of your muscles, and it's really, really nice to get beautifully warmed up. And we try in every single Pilates class, and the ones that I've taken so far, I really, really try and use that 100. And in my one-on-one sessions with people, which hopefully you'll all get to experience and want to experience after this, we really will work on those, on that 100 and getting us into a beautiful, beautiful line. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do what we call the Pilates roll up. And the Pilates roll up works on spinal flexion and articulation, which you'll just feel as we're doing this exercise. So you're going to lie on the floor. Your legs are going to be straight in front of you, so you can lengthen them out. And you're going to have those arms by your sides, palms down. And you're going to inhale, and you slowly draw, so you can all watch as I do it, to just demonstrate. You're going to inhale, and you're going to have your palms up. So you'll inhale over here, slowly reach them up, so they'll still be in your peripheral vision. You never want to have them back here, because that will just make your ribs pop up, and that's not what we want to do. We want to engage those abdominals, keep that beautiful neutral spine. And we would inhale over here, and we would exhale to slowly nod that chin to the chest. Use those abdominals and use that exhale to really drive you up. And you will inhale here to grab onto, so even if it's over here or over here, and then you would straighten up that beautiful spine over here, and inhale and exhale to slowly, from our tailbones, through our lumbar spine, through our thoracic spine and our cervical spine, slowly glide back down to that mat. We'll try and do 3 of them. If you feel that it's a bit difficult for you, bend your legs slightly, so that you've got a slight bend in those legs, because it will make that movement a lot easier for you and it will take away a lot of the strain. So I want you to inhale as you take those hands up over. Look at them, make sure that they are in your peripheral vision. Don't let them go too far back, because you will feel those ribs pop and you just want to maintain that neutral. So you can inhale and exhale to slowly draw those up. Vertebra by vertebra, there we go, great job. And you're going to inhale here to lengthen that spine up beautifully. Feel that nice lengthening. And you're going to slowly, slowly go back down through that mat. And those hands are going to follow you as you go back up. And you're going to go again. So inhale here. And exhale to slowly come off of that mat. Okay, stretch out in front of you. And then come into a beautiful straight line as you go back down, vertebra by vertebra. The next one I just want you to bend your knees, because you'll feel that it will be much easier. So do that, there we go. And we're going to inhale and exhale as you come rolling back up, vertebra by vertebra. You can take your hands and you can hold the that as you're doing it. It will also help you do that move. And you can inhale here and exhale. We're going to roll back down to the ground. And just rest out those hands completely down the floor behind you. Rest your feet. Stretch it out after that difficult one. And just take it easy and breathe and let it go. So the next exercise I'm going to do with everybody is going to, it's the full exercise, which is a roll over. Which a lot of you saw when I shared it on the group. So that was a full, the full rollover. But for today's session, we're going to focus on the preps to do the full rollover. So it is a very, very controlled exercise, and it really does use our abdominals. And if you do it and you haven't really practiced it and you haven't done the preps, to just get those core muscles nicely strong, you can injure yourself. So I'm going to demonstrate the full rollover, and we're also going to do those preps. And I like to demonstrate the full rollover because a lot of people, when they see the prep or they feel the prep, they feel like they're doing nothing at all. And you really are. You're working on those abdominal muscles, and before you know it, you will be doing that full rollover. It just requires that inner core strength. So I'll show you the prep first, which is what we're going to do, and then I'll show you the full rollover and we'll go back to the preps. So you're going to maintain that beautiful neutral spine. Your hands are going to be firmly down on the mat. You're going to bring one leg up to tabletop, the next leg up to tabletop, and then we're going to cross one ankle over the other. And now we're going to inhale and exhale to use our abdominals to bring us up slightly. So even if that's a millimeter off the mat, a centimeter off the mat, 2 centimeters, some people do 5. You just want to use those abs. So I don't want anyone to take their hands and push through that mat to do that, because that's using your arms to do it, and that's not the right way to do the exercise. So we really just want to keep those abs nice and get our abs drive up. So we'll inhale and exhale to go up and back down, and inhale and exhale back down. And we're going to do 4 of those, and then we cross over and do 4 on the other side. But the full rollover, in essence, just make sure it's space there, full rollover would be if we were to come up and we would take those legs and we would drive them sort of to where the ceiling and the wall meet. So we really want that beautiful angle over there. And we would inhale over here and we would exhale, slowly articulate over, and we would get a beautiful, nice long spine and tap our toes on the floor. We would come up, we would open up our legs, bring them back in, open them up, bring them back in, and then slowly articulate through our spine back down to that mat. So that would be the full rollover. Okay, so that's a real word to the book. Okay, so we're going to do those preps. So I want you to bring those, so find that neutral spine again on the mat, and plant those hands down firmly, plant the feet down firmly, and just inhale and exhale here for a moment. And bring those legs up to tabletop one by one, feeling that gorgeous neutral spine. You can bring them up slightly and crisscross them so you have a beautiful diamond between those legs. And you'll inhale and exhale to draw up slightly, even if it's a centimetre off the ground, even half a centimetre, and tip it back down, and tip it back down. One more, up, and back down. You can cross those ankles over the other way. And we're going to do 4 like that. So tip up and back down, tip up and back down, up and back down, and one more, up and back down. And you can take those legs and hug them into your chest and enjoy that stretch over there. Great, and then so eventually you'll really build on those core muscles, and eventually before you know it, you'll be doing that full rollover, and it's a really, really nice exercise. I know when I very first started Pilates, I couldn't get my bum off the ground when I was doing it without using my bum or my hands. So it's one of those gradual exercises that you just get better and better at as you do it. So we're going to now work into some one leg circles. So this exercise really just focuses, you basically just doing, it's a focus and control exercise. So you're not actually using any of those abdominal muscles or anything to really just drive that movement. It's focus and control that we're using, and we're going to use that, we're going to work on balancing our weight. So what a lot of people do in this exercise is they end up rocking their pelvis quite a lot, which is normal, but as we progress with the exercise and the more and more we do it, the more we'll stop doing that move. So you're going to come down into the mat, and you're going to rest your head nicely on the mat, and you're going to bring one leg up. So this leg can stay bent for now. And what we will do is we'll inhale, and we'll exhale to draw a slight circle on that ceiling, and back up. And draw a slight circle and back up, and then we'll be going the other way. So we'll do 2 in the other direction, and then we'll bend that leg and bring it back down and do the other leg. If you have any hip problems or anything like that, or any injuries along your hip bones, you can actually just keep that leg bent up and tabletop and do a rotation with the leg bent and around. If no one's indicated, no one wants to see anybody struggling with that move, so I think we can all take that leg up to the tabletop. So I want us to really use those abdominals to stabilize us, so we're not rocking backwards and forwards. So you can inhale here and exhale to bring one leg up. If you feel comfortable, you can bring it up into one beautiful long line, or you can keep it rounded. Bring it inhale, and we just want you to focus on a nice controlled circle. Here, round, and back up to the ceiling. And round, and back up to the ceiling. Round, and back up to the ceiling. 4, 5, 4. And you can really focus on tightening those abs, anchor that pelvis, and your shoulders as you do these circles. And you can bend that leg and bring it back down. We're going to do the other side. And inhale. And exhale to bring that other leg up. And we're going to go in circles. So inhale, go out and around. Here we go. And around. So this really does sort of just move that joint through the hip sockets. So what I want everyone to do is now we're going to go in the other direction. So we're going to move that leg in the opposite direction and take your hand and put them on your pelvis. So put them on those hip bones and your pelvis. And just feel that you're not rocking. Try and really get that stability. So at this point when you put your hands in, you can actually feel if you're rocking or not. It's a really nice way to tell whether you're grounded. And then you can bend the leg and bring it back down. Okay. So now we've done most of our back sort of work on the mat, and now we're going to go into doing one final roll up to get us up into a sitting position. So take those legs, put them nice and long, and put those hands back behind you in your peripheral vision. And you're going to engage those abs. You're going to inhale here, and exhale to slowly knot the chin to the chest, driving ourselves back up into a sitting position. You can go forward and then just give those ankles a nice hug, those legs a hug. And then we're going to grow straight and tall on those sit bones. And then exhale over there. And we're going to come into a nice sort of sitting. So now we're in our sitting position. And we're going to focus on doing our next exercise, which is going to be the saw. So the saw really does focus on some flexion and rotation of our spine. So flexion will go forward and rotation will be to the left and to the right. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit with our legs slightly further than hip distance apart. So we don't want them out too wide, we don't want them to be in just slightly further than hip distance apart. Your feet are going to be flexed, so we don't want to point them, we really want to feel that nice extension. And our arms are going to be out by the side. We want to keep our shoulders away from our ears. So my nemesis with all the stress and for a lot of, if you've got do a lot of like typing or computer work, you'll find that in this position your shoulders are going to come up. So you want to focus on keeping them away from those ears and keep our arms out over there. And we're going to inhale, and you can all just watch me to demonstrate. So we're going to inhale here, and we would exhale to rotate. So that rotation is going to come from your waist and from your abs. You would rotate, and you would come down, and you're going to take the opposite, so you'll take the pinky on this hand, and you sort of chop your baby toe off of it, and on the other hand, you're going to drop that thumb towards the ground as you lean forward, feeling that nice spinal rotation and that twist, and then you would come up and back to the center. So, and then when we go the other way, drop the pinky thumb to the ground at the back, inhale and back to the center. So you're trying to do a few of those and really just focus on that flexion and that rotation. So at this point, we can just inhale, exhale to rotate, drop down, inhale up, exhale back to the center. If you have any carry on, we're going to go the other way. So, just rub that out. And back on up. To the center. And we're going to go the other way. Drop your thumb. Good job. And out. To the center. And we're going to do one more. Good job. Up. Into the center, and then you can come forward and just give a nice stretch into those legs. And you just enjoy that stretch and just hang out there for a bit, feeling a nice stretch through your spine. Okay. We're going to now work on some prone work, so all the work we're going to do now is on our stomachs. So I want us to come into a lying position down onto that mat. And you're going to come lying down. And this is a great way to counter all of the flexion movements that we've just been doing. So we want our arms. So this exercise is the full exercise is called the swan. So we're going to do the swan prep. So the swan dive is the full one. The swan will be the prep. So your hands will be underneath your shoulders over there, slightly further than your body away from your leg. And your nose is going to be sort of a centimetre off of that mat. Your feet will be turned out slightly. You turn them out and slightly sort of hip distance apart. And you'll inhale at the bottom here with your nose slightly off, and you'll exhale to come up with those arms nicely firm into the mat. And you inhale up here and exhale to go back down. When you do this exercise, what you want to feel, you want your position, but in this move. So we inhale with our nose just a centimetre off of that mat, and exhale to come up. When you come up, just keep your face forward, down to that mat. Don't try and extend your neck to look up. You inhale here and exhale. Release the arch and back down. So I'm going to do a few more of those. So inhale and exhale to arch that back beautifully. Come up in a nice extension. And then come back down. And inhale and exhale to pull up. Inhale here and exhale to go back down. So you kind of just want to look at that edge of the mat when you come up. Don't want to look any further. So we're going to do one more inhale and exhale to come up. And you can release it down, back onto that mat. Okay. Now we're going to go into some one-leg kicks. So what you can do over here is you're going to, this really just focuses on our hamstrings. So you're going to come over here and you're going to cup those hands in front of you. You've really got the move down, you've really got the cupping of your hands got. So you're going to cup those and you're going to have those elbows nicely planted into the mat up there. You want you to have your vision so that you're looking at those thumbs that are crossed in front of you. And then you're going to adduct your legs. So what that means is you're going to try and keep them very, very firmly together. When we're using our adductor muscles here to keep those legs nicely together. So we don't want to do this exercise with our legs apart. The purpose of it is to get those hamstrings nicely done, so we're going to keep those legs nicely firmly together. And what we're going to do here is you can still imagine, so your abdominals are not going to be popped completely off of there. So we're not trying to do sort of a half push up here. Keep those abs nicely engaged on that mat. It's just the top half of our body there that's coming up. And we're going to inhale. We're going to exhale to kick, and when we point to kick here, we're going to flex to go back. So we're going to inhale, point there, flex to go back. Okay, so we're going to start with those. So we're going to do a few, you can just do a few, we're going to do a few on our left, and then we'll do our right. So we don't need to alternate. So we're going to inhale, exhale, to point, flex, and back down to the mat. Come back up to point, flex, and back down. And do 3 more. So kick up, point the foot, and then flex it, back down. 1 more on that side, point it, flex it out, and back down. We're going to do the other side now. So we're going to take the leg, point it, up, flex it, and back down. So the movement should feel like you're working through honey as you do this. So you're going to bring it up, point it, flex it, and back down. And this is really nice for we call them soleus and gastrocnemius muscles that run there. Those basically work for that plantar flexion, that flex, and that point that you're doing now. So that's really, really nice. Just do 1 more on the side. And good job. And you can come into the shoulder stretch, so you can push those legs back, come in and just nicely stretch it out over there. feeling that nice stretch in your shoulder blades. Just take a moment over here to feel that nice, beautiful stretch. You should really, this is quite a nice standard Pilates stretch, and it's really nice. The final thing we're going to do before we go into our cool down is we're going to do some side kick series. So that's really going to strengthen, it is some strengthening exercise, and it focuses on lengthening our muscles and using our core muscles to stabilize our trunk. So that's the top half of our body, and it's just your lower half of your body that's moving independently, so those legs moving. So what we're going to do here is we're going to lie on one side. You could lie with your hand out like this. I like to do this exercise though with you rest your head on your hand like this. You can have the other hand to prop you up slightly over here. So you could do it like this, but you don't have as much stability. So I quite like doing it just so that everybody can have that nice long stability over here. And in this position, you're going to just try and get yourself into one long line. So in that position, you're going to have your hips stacked on each other, so you don't want to be facing forward like this, you don't want to be too far back. Just concentrate on trying to get those stacked, and everything's going to be in one beautiful long line. So the feet, the knees on top of each other. You don't want to have one knee sort of in front here. Just get those nicely stacked. And what we're going to do, you're going to have that hand firmly down in front of us, and we're going to inhale to lift the top, point the top foot up. So the top foot's going to come up, and then you're going to flex and lower it. And inhale here to point it up, and flex and lower it. And inhale to point it up, flex and lower it. So this exercise, you don't need to go too far up as you're going up. You can just do a small movement, and as you go down, you sort of feel as though you're working through that honey again. Go up, we're going to do one more. Up, flex, and back down. Then we're going to go on to some kicks here. So I want us to, we're going to kick forward, and then we're going to go back and kick forward, flex, and point it back. And kick forward, and point it back. And kick forward, and point it back. Let's do one more on the side. Kick forward, and point that back. You can now rest that leg down, and we're going to go on to the other side. Moving on to the other side, we're going to focus again on getting ourselves nicely lined up again. So not too forward, not backward, just getting our hips stacked on top of each other nicely, our knees stacked on each other, using that other hand to really just support us as a base and to support our trunk in this case. Now I want you to inhale as you lift that leg up, place at the top, and back down. I'm just going to do a few more. So go up. Just take the whole time about having yourself nicely stacked, those hips stacked as we do this. Back down. Do one more. Back down. And then we're going to do those kicks. So forward and back. Forward and back. Good job. Move forward. Back. Forward and back. One more. And then everyone can come into a nice shoulder stretch when you've done your last time in your own time. Come into that nice shoulder stretch. Stretch it out. Big job. Got Pilates professionals here. Everyone's really, really good. Let's take a nice stretch over there. Okay, we're now going to go into our cooling down. So we're not going to do any further exercises. because we're going to cooling down. So I want you to come, you can come to a slight squatting position from that shell stretch. Just on those toes, feel a nice stretch there. You're just going to inhale here, you feel the stretch, and exhale. On the next inhale, you're slowly going to lengthen those legs up. And you can keep a slight more bend in those knees and inhale here. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You can slowly draw those fingertips to your toes, to your ankles, and inhale. Exhale. Slowly start to roll up vertebra by vertebra, stacking them back on each other. You come to one beautiful standing long line. And we're just going to inhale to drop back down to those toes. Inhale, curve the shoulders again. And exhale to roll down. Exhale to slowly roll up vertebra by vertebra. Coming into one beautiful long line. So I want us at this point just to roll the shoulders again back nicely. And rolling the other way. And bring your one arm across. And just give it a nice hug. And just feel that nice stretch. And hold it there. And then go the other way. Come up and just give one leg a nice hug. And just feel that nice, feel the front, feel nice stretch back down. And the other leg. Nice hug to the back. Back down. And then you just move those hips side to side. Give yourself a shake out. Bring those arms up to the top. Side to side, side to side, side to side. And go down. And swing it back up, side to side. And shake it all out. And give yourself a nice hug. Well done. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, that was lovely. Oh, thank you. Good. No, thank you very much. And thank you for all being here. I really, really appreciate all the support. And I appreciate you guys coming to be part of this demonstration video. And yeah, I've got a few gifts for everyone over here. So I'm going to give those to you all. And then I've also got some forms that I want everyone to fill in as part of the demonstration. Okay. So they're just sort of forms that I've got to fill in and submit along with the video. So while you're doing that, I've got some juice. I think I've just put it, oh, there it is. And I've got some glasses over there so you can help yourself and just sit down and chat and enjoy the juice and fill in the form. So, thank you. So thank you guys all so much for coming. There you go. Thank you. I really appreciate all of your support. Thank you. I'm so relaxed. And so, thank you. I'm choosing. Good. There we go.